Today I'm going to set up a simple author website using WordPress, and this is going to be a highly opinionated tutorial. By that I just mean I'm not going to show you every option that's available in WordPress. WordPress is a fantastic piece of software, and there's a million different ways to do things. This will just be one way. As you get used to the interface and get used to the software, it'll become much easier to branch out and do things a different way. But my way right here is just going to be one way, and I'm not going to try to show you every option. All right, so the first step is to install it, and this will be different depending on where you're hosting it. Right now I've just got this set up on a local server. If you do a shared hosting package, you know, at HostMonster or GoDaddy or whatever, they will have an easy way to do this, but it will ask for basically this same information. So the site I'm going to do today is going to be for an author you may or may not have ever heard of, Dwight V. Swain. He's one of my favorite. He wrote a book on writing that's my favorite in the whole world, but he was also an author himself and wrote a lot of stuff back in the pulp era. All right, make sure that you have that password saved, because otherwise you'll never be able to log in. Okay. Then once you have set those, if you're on the back end of your host, there should be a link. Otherwise, or if you just go to your website, you'll now be able to log in here. So on the outside, everything is going to look pretty plain. You're not going to see anything special, but we're going to change all that here in just 1 minute. So once you've logged on, this is what the back end is going to look like. The first step is to make 2 pages. You do that by highlighting over here on the left-hand menu, Pages. You can say Add New, or if you click on the button, there's a button here that says Add New. It gives you some wonderful hints, tips. We're just going to make 2 pages, and we're not going to fill anything out just yet. So up here where that says the add title, we're going to say front. Go ahead and publish it. Now we're going to have, up here we see this. Again, we can do it here. Look at all, there are a million different ways to do stuff in WordPress. So we're going to make another page. We're going to call it blog without a spelling error. And even if you're not planning on putting a blog on your author website, which is a fine choice, we're still going to need this page. So now we have set up 2 pages over here. If we click on the all pages, we can see that they exist. Once we have those 2 pages done, move on to step 2. So you click on Settings, Reading. Then in this section, it says your home page displays, and it gives you a choice between your latest posts and a static page. We want a static page as your home page. Select front, and as the posts page, select blog. Then come down here and save your changes. Once you get this message, you know you're good. In step 3, we're going to install the theme that we're going to use. And again, there are like a million themes out there. I just picked one that will kind of do what we need it to do as an author, and that is pretty easy to customize. So you go to Appearance, Themes, click Add New. We're going to search for a theme called Author Landing Page. There it is. Click Install. WordPress goes out to the internet and installs it. Click Activate. So now this is the active theme. Oh, and up here we have this little notice that says this theme recommends following plugins. For right now, we're just going to ignore that. But we have the theme installed, and if you wanted to, you can click Visit Site, open that up in a new tab, and it doesn't look all that different, but that's going to change very soon. Step 4 is going to be to add a few posts. Now, similar to how you can add pages, there's different ways to get to that add a new page. There are several ways to get to the add a new post. So if you click over here on the left hand side, you can add new, this plus new tab. You can select a new post. Whatever you click, it takes you to the same place. So as our posts that we need is just some basic information about, let's call it 4 works. Now, if you don't have 4 published novels yet, you can choose something else to talk about that's related to your work. But for the layout of the front page, we're going to use 4 different items. And for each of those items, they're going to need a picture. And I'll show you how to set that just now. So this is kind of the boring part. Just watching me fill out a form. How we now upload the pictures, we click up here. We have this block. This is defining the blocks of text. This is a title block. This is just a paragraph. There are other types of blocks like lists. Don't need to worry about that too much right now, but we click on document and then we can set the featured image. So we click that. I don't have any uploaded already into WordPress. So go to upload files, and then I'm going to select the file, which is just an image of the cover. Hit select. There it is. Now I have everything I need for this post. Click publish. There it is. Now I'm going to repeat this a couple more times, and I may do this, have the video fast forwarded, but you can still see what I'm doing. Now that we've uploaded a few of these posts, it's time to customize that front page a bit. To do so, we go to Appearance, Customize. Here we just have, you have a menu of the different things that can be customized here on the front page. This first link just has other links to a demo of this theme and documentation how to use it. Let's go through a bunch of these together. So under default settings, the site identity, again, you can change the name, and that should probably be your author name. And then the tagline, which you can say whatever you want, or you can erase it all and have it say nothing if that's what you would prefer. And if you wanted to not show that, you could click that button, but you probably do want to show your name on there. Also, if you select a logo, that will put it in right up here if you have such a thing that you want up there. These other options for colors, you can see where that changes it. You could change it to anything you wanted. That's the background behind the main meat of the site. I want it left white. Oops. Then background image, similar to that color, you can have an image back there. And static front page, we've already set this setting, but you can access it again here. Those are the default settings. Now we're going to come to the kind of more exciting settings. Here we go on the home page settings. The banner section is the section right underneath the header that you saw on the thumbnail of the theme itself. We are not going to upload a new image for this, but you would be welcome to, and there's a lot of room for customization there. It tells you how big that image would need to be. I'm going to turn it on, and then we select a post. This from this post, it will take the text and the picture that you uploaded, and then you can also set a button there. So if you're an author, you probably want them to buy it now. And I'm just setting a link to nowhere. You can also have it put another image if you have a "we accept credit cards." Most people would put it like a link to the Amazon page or a books to read page, something like that. You could also select a post that had a picture of your author face or something as the featured image, and then this could be a link to a newsletter sign up if you wanted that on your front page. Anyway, this looks a little squished right now. Let's just go ahead and publish this as is. We're going to back out of here, and then we're going to take a look at the site. So now it's not as squished because I've got more space in the browser now. So that's kind of what your header is going to look like, and you can adjust that however you want. Or excuse me, the banner is going to look like. But now we need to skip back to the customizing the appearance. Going back to the homepage settings, we have set this stuff. Now, this theme has various sections. Many of them work about the same. So we're going to use the features section, enable it, and we'll say works. Here are some books. Each of these are going to look slightly different based on that theme, but like I said, they will all work about the same. So now we would just pick the posts that we had made and have them show the individual book covers. So the way that the features section is set up so that it can have up to 4 of these pictures up here. I don't think I did, yeah, I don't have another one up there right now, but that could easily be fixed. We would just go to a new post and do the same thing we did before. So now if we publish that and we go back and take a look, it's nice and responsive, so that on a narrow screen it will show them you know, stacked up and down, but on a wider screen it shows them left to right. And if you wanted, you could put links to purchase in this description of the post. Let's go ahead and try that right now. So we're going to make sure published, everything is saved. Go back to, excuse me, the posts. Look at the transposed man. Let's just see if this works. We update it here. And there it is there. So that's how you would go in, and whenever you want to change those things, you just change the post, just like I did there. And that is the basic pattern that we're going to use to update all of the various sections that you can have here on your front page. So we're going to skip back, looking again at the home page settings. There's a review section and a testimonial section. The testimonial section, you can have up to 2 posts that you reference. The review section, just 1. And an about section that you could do. So let's go ahead and do the review. Let's make a review section, but to do that we're going to need to make a new post. So we add a new post. Where you would write whatever wonderful review that you have received. Again, we're making sure that we set a featured image, which is probably an upload. That's me. Oops, I didn't want it to switch over to that. Okay. So now we've got a post that when we go back in, we enable the section because we want it to show up on the front page. You can say things, you know, it's got a header for the section, a little blurb about it that you would put here. Come on, give me back my... Click the post that you just made, click publish, and there it is. It shows the review. Now it's also got a review video embed link, so I noticed it has that for the about section. Let's do one of those for that as well. As I was recording this, I learned that this video link actually doesn't work unless you have a post as well. So I went back and made a post just like we've done before about Dwight V. Swain, and then to pick the I did not set a featured image, but to pick the video embed link, those are available, on YouTube. Let's see. You click share, embed, copy it. This is an old movie that it's a documentary that Dwight V. Swain actually wrote. Let's see. Throw it in here. Now when we publish, we're going to go back out to the main site to take a look and see what it looks like. So there's some books, a wonderful review, and then we've got a link to the YouTube video. The other sections work, again, just exactly the same. You make posts, and then you choose which post to insert at that's the spot in the front page where you want it. Hopefully you're comfortable now adjusting and customizing those various sections of the front page. Back to where we were. Now what I want to customize is the header up here. This menu, and we talked about the tagline underneath here. But this menu is what we want to change now. So again, in appearance, customize. One of the options says menus, and it has a built-in menu that you saw before. Again, my screen is my browser is squished here, so you're just seeing the menu button, which pops up like that. And these are it just puts a link to every single page that you have made. But we don't want that. Now you may or may not even want to run a blog on your author site. Either way is fine, but we want to be able to customize exactly what pages get linked to. So what we did here, we say create a new menu. We're just going to call this main menu. And the primary location, there's a footer menu that can go at the very bottom. And I don't know if that's on or not, but the primary one is that one up at the top, is the menu that shows at the top of every page. So our main menu is the name. We want it to go there. Now, right now, there is no items in that menu. So if we were to look at the site, oops, sorry, we got to publish first. So if we're going to look at the site, now there's nothing there. If you just wanted a landing page with nothing on it at all, no other pages, then that would be fine. But you can also add links to any page that you've created on the site. So if you wanted to disable that About section, you could go into the settings for the front page, disable that section, make a new page that's about the author. You could link to that here, and it lets you just choose from all the pages that are there. It also lets you select from any posts that have been made. You can also do a custom link anywhere. So if you had a newsletter that you also wanted site visitors to be able to sign up for, oh, it's gonna balk at me for not. And you would want to put your actual newsletter link, of course, given to you by whoever provides your newsletter services. All right, so now we'll publish this and you can take a look. Now there's a link up there. If you do use the blog, you'll want to add an item to the blog page. If you do that, however, you'll probably also want a link to the home page on the front. So now that's on there. Usually we have that. You can just drag and drop in what order you want the things in the menu to be. So now you can see it, the squished version. So if they were looking on mobile, home, newsletter, blog, And if they're looking from a desktop, that's what they see. Whew! All right, now we got a good menu that you know how to customize. So now it would be time to build out any other specific pages. If there's like an area of study that's special about you, or again, if you wanted the About section to be its own page, now you would build out all those pages and then link to them in the menu. And there's, again, two ways to do this. There's the standard WordPress menu editing. I think it looks a little cleaner in the customized menu when you look at it. And that's the menu that we have made. Now, if you're not going to use the blog and post regularly, honestly, you'd be better off not having it at all. If you do want to remove something from that menu, click the little arrow and then you can remove it. But let's, one other thing that a lot of authors want, and I guess this would be the next step, would be in a contact form. Now you can make a new page and just write your email address or your, put links to your Twitter account or your Facebook author page or whatever. But a lot of people like to have a form on their website. So let's go ahead and add that now. First thing to do is to make a new page. And we're not going to have anything in here, but we will here in a minute. And let's go ahead and add that contact page to the menu so I don't forget to do that. That's all saved. Now it's time to add a plugin. Because WordPress doesn't come built in with those forms. So we click on plugins and we can say add new. And again, WordPress is super slick. It's got a repository of plugins that you can search and download them from there automatically and install them automatically. So you can go around the internet and download them yourself and upload them here, but it's easier just to look. And we'll just guess. We'll just say a contact form. See what comes up. Okay, contact form 7. That seems just fine, has fair ratings. So install it. Once it's installed, it needs to be activated. Go ahead and click it again. All right. So now it came with some standard plugins. Now the contact form plugin is, you see it on the installed list. You can click settings to go look at it. It comes pre-generated with a contact form. If you click on the title, it shows you kind of what it's going to look like. And at first, you're probably good just to leave it as is. You click mail. You can tell it where this form is going to send emails to. And it will automatically pick whatever that admin email that you used for your account when you first set up WordPress. Again, I'm going to leave that. And then the big important piece of information is this up here. You can see it on that main list. You see now contact shows up here on your left-hand menu. You can see it here. Or if you click on and you're looking at the form, you see it here. This is called a shortcode. This is text that you need to copy and paste into your page. So now we go to all pages, edit contact me, and then just as it was written, go ahead and you paste it. And that's what it's going to look like. It knows that you've used what they call a shortcode, and so this extra stuff is part of what WordPress just trying to help you. Go ahead and hit update. Now if we want to look at that page, you can click the preview button, and there it is. Now if you don't want all this stuff, this is the sidebar that shows up on your blog, or what you would expect to see on a blog, because it's got links to recent posts, yada yada yada. If you don't want to show this on any single page, we're going to edit that page. And then down here at the bottom, it says that you choose which sidebar template you want. You only have two choices on this theme, where it would have a right sidebar or no sidebar at all. That's what I want right now because I just want it to look. I don't want people to know that there's a blog function at all. Again, click update. And now when we come back and visit the page, whoops, I hit the site. When I go back to that exact page, you can see the sidebar is now gone. It's only showing me this button because I'm logged in right now. Visitors to the site don't see it. But then people could fill out that form. And on that same page, if you were to edit it, you can say whatever you want. Hello, write me an email. And then it says that at the beginning of your form. Very exciting. Okay, so hopefully that gives you enough where you can set up any extra pages and get the core functionality for an author website that looks pretty good and it works on mobile devices or on desktop and allows you to, hopefully now you'll be able to customize anything you want. If you have any questions, go ahead and write a comment and I'll take a look at those. So just to review the things that we have done when setting up an author website with WordPress, I've logged out of that installation so that I could look at the website just like a guest would view it. So what we did is we set, of course, the name of the site. We have the custom menu going to, the newsletter would go off-site to whoever it is that you use to do your newsletter. Using the link that they provide. There's a contact page so that they could write you an email, and of course the home page. We set up this banner block and again this background, which is, it's okay, but it's not terribly pretty. You can customize that and upload a new one if you would want, but then it pulls from the featured image of a post. This post was titled Techniques of the Selling Writer, which is the name of the book. The content of that post goes right underneath it, and then we set that button, where that button goes and what that button says separately. And then we have these other sections that you can enable or disable. We set up that first section to be the author's works, and you can have up to 4 of those. We only uploaded 3. And again, if you put a link in the content of those posts, that link works just fine. Again, there was a section for reviews and an about section. A lot of these sections allow you to have a embed link to a video, which we've done here, which looks strange. If I was going to use this in reality, I would make this about section a lot smaller and then maybe make a separate about page if I still wanted to have that video link look good. So what we have is a fully functional, clean, clear site so that people, when they get there, they know you're an author and they know what to do next. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment, put a comment in the comments.